You are, so here it is. Let's go shopping at the drugstore for products that are great for finer hair. Hello and welcome to the world of Craig. Yes, that's me. I'm Craig and this is my channel. Yes, my channel where we get into all things hair and sometimes a little bit of beauty. How cozy is it in here? There is a storm outside. Oh yes, there is. But it's very cozy in here and it's time for another shop up video. I did a poll on my community page here on YouTube. I love my community here. Yes, all of you. And you said that you wanted to see a shop up video that was all about things that are great for finer hair. And that's exactly what this is. It's worth mentioning at this point before we get into the actual shop up itself, products at the drugstore / chemist, that products and how they work and how much you enjoy them is a very individual thing. So we might look at things in this shop up that aren't necessarily for finer hair but would work really well. And you may use things already that are for perhaps thicker textured hair, but you have finer hair and you really love them. So it really is a case of horses for courses. And unfortunately, a lot of the time, you've just got to try something to see if you're into it. Okay, that's enough of an intro. Let's go shopping. Come on. Deja vu. We're here, we're back in Boots. There is a big, vast array of products for finer textured hair. Let's get into them. So let's start at the beginning with shampoos. Now there are a couple of different categories of shampoos for finer, less dense hair, okay, for volume and for body. But let's start off with Aveeno. If you want something that is going to cleanse the hair effectively, without a lot of the things that a lot of people don't like, but aren't necessarily bad, then Aveeno is a great line. Now, lightweight moisture for hydrated, soft and healthy looking hair, clinically proven to soothe a dry, itchy, flaky scalp. And this is made with colloidal oat, which is the whole Aveeno SKU. So colloidal oatmeal is very soothing. It's fantastic in skincare and it can also be really great in hair care. Interestingly, this, I just had a quick look, this has got amidimethicone in it. So if you really like those, the conditioners that come in box dyes, then this has a similar smoothing effect. This doesn't have anything in it that's going to coat the hair. It's really about gently cleansing. There is peppermint oil in here, which can be a real irritant because it's an oil. It's a fragrance oil as well. There's rosemary. We know rosemary is not going to make your hair grow thicker, but there's glycerin in here. I noticed there was citric acid to deal with the pH. What else have we got in here? There's coconut acid, which is also very softening. So there's really great, it's a kind of good basic cleanser, disregarding the rosemary and the peppermint because people can be sensitive to that, and it's going to make the hair smooth. So yeah, and what does it say? Our soothing scalp blend is infused with fresh green botanical ingredients that helps fine hair, thin hair look thicker and fuller. Well, I mean, it's not actually going to make your hair look and feel thicker because there's nothing in here to do that, but it's a really effective cleanser, as you would expect from Aveeno. What is that, £8.80. Now, moving on to Pantene or Pantene, depending on where you come from. I've said in many videos before, I will link the entire playlist of shop up videos down below, but Pantene is not the devil. Some of these formulations are so good. The formulation of this is really great for textured hair, but this is their lift and volume. So we've got shampoo, conditioner, and then we have, shampoo, and then we have the thickening conditioner. Interesting, it says silicone free. Well, it is silicone free, but it does have, here it has this stearimidopropyl dimethylamine, and that is a kind of derivative of silicone. It's a dimethicone type of ingredient. It's water soluble, but that's really great for static hair. So this is their lift and volume biotin and antioxidants. Biotin does not penetrate the scalp or the hair to make it thick or strong. Antioxidants can be good to help with free radical damage. Weightless nourishment for visibly thick and full hair. Well, this, the dimethylamine, that's going to help to make the hair feel slightly thicker. What else have we got in here? And it, like I said, it gets rid of static. So if you have very long hair that gets very static, that might be quite good. Citric acid there for the strength. Panthenol, which is very smoothing. It attracts water, similar to how hyaluronic acid does, similar but different. This does have menthol in it. I think a lot of these products have menthol added to them to give you that sensation, but again, you can be allergic to it. It can be something you're allergic to. And I would be very aware of things that say that biotin is going to make your hair strong, because it isn't. And as a supplement, it can help, but only the data is very, very, very teeny weeny. But yeah, great product. If you want something that's going to clean the hair and then condition it very lightly. Don't come for me, don't come for me. I'm in the Tresemme line. Now, I know there's a lot of controversy around Tresemme, but these formulations, I can't remember who it is, it's Unilever. So, you know, this is their Replenish and Cleanse Vitamin Complex. Deeply cleanses and purifies in one wash. Very interesting. This formula is quite minimal. So there's sodium lauryl sulfate, which is a surfactant. This here is another surfactant. We've got a lot of fragrance, and they do say on the front about, or on the back here, where is it? Luxurious fragrance. There's a lot of fragrance in this, which is understandable because that's often how they sell a product. People open the bottle and smell it. Citric acid. This has panthenol. It has arginine. Now that's a really amazing ingredient that can help to make the hair strong. We have niacinamide, which I'm actually quite sensitive to, but that is a B vitamin, which again is really good for scalp health. Ascorbic acid, vitamin C. So, and there's colouring added to this as well as all that fragrance. But, you know, that isn't a bad formula. How much is it? £6. I think it's about, hold on. It is £7 without a Boots card. So it's not bad. And if you have thinner, finer hair, it's probably going to cleanse it very effectively, which is important to get lots of volume and body. So yeah, don't discount Tresemme because everyone tells you it's bad. So we've talked about things that cleanse the hair very effectively. I apologise if the music is loud in the background. It's incredibly loud in here. But we've talked about things that cleanse the hair effectively. But there are a different category of things for finer hair that's less dense when you want volume and texture. And that is things like this. This is new from John Freda. I was calling him Johnny Freda. And this is the Pro Filler line. Now, interestingly, if we look at the conditioner on the back here, where are the ingredients? They're down here. I've just had a little look. So this has this polyquaternium 37. Now, the polyquaternium, probably murdering that name in here with my specs on, those are film-forming ingredients, and it's in all of this line. So they create less static, they're anti-static, but they actually coat the hair to make it feel physically thicker. So there we go, this polyquaternium 7, that's the same as well. That's a film former. That doesn't mean it's bad. It's water soluble, but this basically, it says it plumps overall thickness by 200%. So you're physically plumping the hair. And then over here, we have this polyquaternium 68 and 16, and they are also things that add manageability, but also plump the hair up physically. So my advice is, if you want to use a line like this, use all of it, because all used together is going to give you the most volume. And then when you shampoo your hair, you'll start again by building up the layers of the different ingredients that give you that thickness and that density. And if you're worried about things like that ingredient, the polyquaternium 16 or the 68, there's quite a few of them in these products. They have other things as well, other ingredients. Interestingly, they have caffeine. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about her in a second. Hyaluronic acid, yeah, because everything's got that in it. Biotin, again, it's not going to actually stimulate hair growth. But if you're worried about them building up, then just use a deep cleansing shampoo. Every third shampoo perhaps, depending on, obviously everyone's hair type will be different, and you use what suits you and all of that stuff. I can't give you very specific things for every individual person because you're all different, but use the entire line to get the best results. Yeah, very good, impressive. Whilst we're over here as well, in the loudest place in the world, let's talk about the original styling line from John Freda. We have here this lightweight conditioning mist, detangles and nourishes for soft, bouncy hair. Now this is a slightly different list of ingredients. There's dimethicone in here to make the hair very slippery, because this is a conditioning mist. Oh yes, is my phone focusing? Yes, dimethicone, for those of you that love box dye conditioners. So this will make the hair very slippery, but in a very lightweight way. This uses copolymers, so it uses acrylic polymers to actually adhere to the hair to make it thicker and fuller whilst detangling. So I bet that this is actually really good and very lightweight, but would give your hair extra volume. I have tried a lot of this, for example this This volume lift root booster, which is very similar to the volume giving products from Colour Wow, because these are formulated by the same lab. Yes, Colour Wow and John Freda comes from the Federici lab. Really great products. I can't show you that because the label is covered up, the ingredients are covered up. What have we got here? Is my phone going to focus on that? Yes, it is. So this uses polysilicone 9, which is a form filming ingredient. So this would also give your hair lots of lift and volume. Has quite a minimal ingredients, this actually. Probably quite a powerful root lifter. Thickening blowout spray, volume and lift without the weight. Air Silk technology, that's marketing for fine or flat hair. But it's a really good line and really great price points. Let's get controversial yet bold for a second. Now, Alasin. I talked about, where are we? I talked about Nioxin in my midlife hair care, which is in that playlist that I've linked down below. But let's talk about Alasin and caffeine. There's been a couple of videos recently from really big creators that have said that caffeine stimulates hair growth. That's not strictly true. And the data that has been, the studies that have been done on caffeine making hair grow are tiny and they're not substantiated. Caffeine in shampoos, and this is an incredibly popular line. Whenever I'm in here, I always see people with this in their baskets. It seems to be very popular with guys as well, the way that this packaging is quite kind of masculine. I hate that word, but it is. Caffeine, the way that it works on the hair follicle is it is purported to give like energy to the hair follicle. So it's supposed to, that's why they're saying it stimulates the root of the hair and makes the hair grow. It's not substantiated. I've read a couple of studies, they're very small, so it might add energy to the root of the hair and aid in the process of hair growing. But these stimulates hair roots during washing. Really? Well, it's very short contact. So basically, when you're shampooing your hair, this only stays on the head for a minute or two. How long do they say for it to stay on for? Leave on the scalp for 2 minutes there. Leave on the scalp for 2 minutes from application to rinse. The shampoo does not contain softening silicones, so your hair will immediately have more grip. So let's have a little look what else is in there, sorry. Let's have a little look. So so it's disinfectant. It's got citric acid, menthol, obviously. The caffeine's quite high. It's got quite a lot of caffeine. It's got wheat protein, so that will make the hair feel physically thicker. Wheat proteins are good to thicken up finer hair. Has a little bit of castor oil to give the hair slip. It's not a bad, it really isn't a bad formulation, but just be aware that caffeine is not this miracle thing that is going to actually make your hair grow long or make your hair thicker, as in thicker coming out of the root. Not enough data yet. Back to styling, and a line that a lot of you will know, but I just picked this up. This is interesting. I use an awful lot of this in the TV work that I do. It would stop a fly in mid-flight. It's basically plastic in a can. It's ever so good. But I just picked this up, this Volum Mania. That's hilarious. 24-hour volumizing mousse for boosting volume. Now, I am a big fan of things that coat the hair when you're styling, especially if the hair is finer, to get lots of volume and body that lasts. It has a fearless hold, this one,
Could the duty
for...
manager please make their way to the 3rd floor?
Oh.
That's a duty manager to the 3rd floor. Thank you.
We need a duty manager. I bet they're rushing on their way now. So this is a really interesting ingredients list, and I think it's super cool. So this has starch in it, which will help to give a grippy hold. Sugar. Sugar is amazing on hair that is finer or thinner to give volume and body. So I think that's super cool as well. What else have we got in here? We have some panthenol to make the hair feel smooth and also make the hair shiny. But a really great, very simple, obviously it's a mousse, so it's going to be, it's going to give you volume and body, and it's a styling product with hold. But the addition of the sugar will really give you lots of style memory if you have finer hair, and especially if you like to use hot tools in your hair and you want the body and the volume to last. And also that starch will stop your hair from getting greasy. So I think for £6 5p, I think that is a really great thing to have if you have finer hair and you want lots of volume and body. Yeah. Whilst we're over here, it's worth mentioning these are incredibly popular. There is one that's in the yellow packaging as well, I think, that we all have in our kits, the Session Stylist Volumizing Styling Powder. I would disagree. I don't think this is Style Hold 2. I think it's probably up here at 6. This is something that you would very, very carefully shake into the roots of your hair for extra volume. Once you've when you're dressing your hair out, if you want body and texture, it's a dehydrated gel basically, but these are really great if you have finer hair and you feel that the volume doesn't last you. We use them a lot in television. Be warned, they are powerful. So if you go hell for leather with these, you won't be able to get a brush or your fingers through your hair, but they're a really great thing to give the hair grip and grit. If you have like finer textured hair that's slippery and you find that your hair accessories don't stay in, just apply a tiny bit of this where you want to put your clip or your grip in, and then it will stay. That's so good. £6, and that would last you a long, long time. So in the same vein of what we just talked about with the powder from Schwarzkopf with that Got To Be, this is quite an interesting, the music's so loud, ingredients list from Elvive. Dream Length Air Volume Dry Shampoo with vitamins and castor oil. Now, dry shampoo can be great on finer textured hair, and if you spray a little bit of hairspray, just a bog standard hairspray into your hair first, and then a little bit of dry shampoo at the roots, it can really help with volume and body. Now let's have a little look in here. So this is based on a lot of dry shampoos, including Batiste. People get very uppity about Batiste, but it's a great line. This has rice starch as the thing that absorbs oil and gives body. This also has niacinamide in it, which is quite impressive. I'm not sure if that needs to be there, but you know, it's quite good as far as ingredients go. Niacinamide is a B vitamin. It could help to make the hair feel a bit thicker, not actually make it thicker from the root, but make it feel a bit thicker cosmetically. But yeah, quite nice. I quite like the way that looks as well. There are other products in this, in the Dream Lengths line, but I'm not sure whether any of those would be good for, what's this? There's a mousse here. What have we got here? With vitamins and castor oil again. Let's have a little look at the ingredients list. So this, glucose, so that's using sugar, again, glucose, to give you that volume and texture and body. My knee's gone to sleep whilst I'm kneeling on the floor. What else have we got in here? Castor seed oil. So again, as far as like a mousse for hold, non-crunchy, non-sticky, waterfall, instant moisture, soft and bouncy waves. So again, you don't need to use this on long and wavy hair. You could use it on short hair where you wanted lots of volume and body. Be warned, it has a lot of fragrance in it, 24-hour scented hair. You know, a lot of these drugstore products are very, hold on, I'm just lifting up my microphone. A lot of these are very, very perfumed because that's a big selling point for things that are sold at the drugstore. But yeah, formulation-wise, great mousse for lots of volume. Now I have mentioned it in another video, which is here on my channel. I will link it down below. Linky, linky, link, link. But this multi-peptide serum for hair density, I am using this at the moment. I love the Ordinary Full Stop. That shampoo is in another video of mine, I think. It's a really great, really simple formulation. But this has a patented peptide in it, which is basically like a proprietary peptide. Where are we? There we go, Redensil. And it has this Procapil as well, and Caprixil and Baycapil, and Anagain has lots. High solubility caffeine, well, we know what I think about caffeine, I've already talked about that. But the Redensil is a very impressive ingredient. If you want a separate, that's what I'm trying to say, it's getting busy in here, a separate video about scalp serums in particular, let me know, but I do really rate this. I'm going to test it solidly for like 6 months and see. I'm using it every night before I go to bed. Multi-peptide serum for hair density. It has a slightly oily texture when it goes on, but then it seems to disappear. But we'll see. I mean, there are some really great reviews of it online, but it is particularly this Redensil. Google it and have a look. It's a very impressive proprietary ingredient. That's in other hair serums too, but if you want a video that's all about just hair serums that promise growth or strength, let me know. Now I'm over in the curly human section. It's quite limited in here, to be honest, but I wanted to look at something that was going to be good for finer hair if you're a curly human being. Now here we have the Twist and Braid Cream, which is like a styling cream that you would put in before you put your hair into twists or curls or just literally air dry. This has an awful lot of oil in it. Cocoa butter, mango butter, hibiscus extract, but it's got a lot of different oils in the formulation, which is down here. It's also got some copolymers which help to hold the curl in, but this would be very heavy in texture. If you are finer haired, you know, or you're worried about your hair looking like there's a lot of product in it, go for something that's more of a gel in texture. So that will hold the curls and waves and twists and everything else. This does have some oils in it. Now this has pectin in it. Oh, is that going to focus? It has pectin in it, which is interesting because that's really good for the strength of hair. It has some gums in here. It has, what else have we got in here? It's got some citrus extracts, which is a bit of a shame because people can be allergic to that, although this isn't obviously going on your scalp. But if you are a curly human being and you're worried about your hair looking heavy or greasy, perhaps instead of going for a cream, try a gel. Beautiful packaging. I've never seen this before, but it looks beautiful. This is quite interesting from Sheer Moisture. I don't know why, but Sheer Moisture does get quite a bad rap on the old digital platforms. But this is an interesting formulation. Silicone-free miracle styler leave-in treatment. Again, if you are a curly human being, but you have finer textured hair, if you used very little of this, you wouldn't need to use very much, but this would be a great detangler or leave-in treatment in order to give your curls or your coils or your, whatever it is you're going to do with your hair, your waves, some separation and some texture, to stop them being too weighed down. And the reason that I say that is that this formulation in here, it's got glycerin, it does have a little bit of alcohol, which is fine. That is something that keeps the product stable. There are some seed oils as well in here. It does have orange peel extract in here, which is a shame because because it's a fruit oil, it has fragrance in it and it could be something that somebody is sensitive to. But this basically has a lighter, slippery texture. So the ingredients in here are going to make, there's some shea butter as well, but because it's in a spray, the actual way that it's formulated is to be lighter. So if you are a curly human being and you want some slip, but you don't want to weigh the hair down with something, something that is, that's very heavy, thick in texture, that would be great. Very quickly, this has just jogged my memory. Would you like a video that's about hair gift sets for Christmas? Things that you could gift to loved ones, friends and family to give them great hair. Would you like a drugstore one? This obviously is skincare, I know, but would you like a drugstore one or maybe a high-end one? Let me know in the comments if that's a video or they are videos that you would like to see. So, like I just said, it's getting quite busy in here. It's time to go. Let's go back to mine and talk about what we've seen today and just sum everything up when it comes to fine hair, creating body, keeping it clean, making it feel denser, all of that stuff. Let's go. So it has to be said, there are some fantastic formulas in the drugstore/chemist. I always say that because I'm in the UK and I don't want to upset somebody that doesn't want me to call a chemist or Boots the Chemist a drugstore, but there are some fantastic formulas in this category that don't cost a lot of money. The brands that produce hair care that we buy at, drugstore prices, that's the one, they do a really great job. And I think that it's worth remembering that, as I mentioned in the video, in the shop up, that products fall into two categories. They're either things that kind of coat the hair to give it volume, so they use polymers and they use acrylates, or things that actually swell the hair up very slightly using things like sugar and some incredible ingredients that were all in those products that you have seen. Have you got a favourite drugstore product? I bet you have. Oh, you have? Well, in that case, let me know in the comments what it is. And remembering that if you leave me a comment or ask me a question, I will always get back to you. I answer all of you myself. That's the policy over here on The World of Craig. What else would you like to see in a shop up series? I have had some incredible, this video has happened because of you wonderful people. So what else would you like to see in this series? If enough people want to see it, if I think enough people want to see it and I want to make it, I will make it. If you've got to the end of the video, a huge thank you. You'll take and also let's not forget that if you did enjoy this video or found it helpful, you know exactly what to do. And maybe you'd like to look at my Instagram, which is this. It's not The World of Craig, it's Craig's World of Hair. You'll take lots of care and I'll see you all in the next one.